This is News 8 Now, this morning.
When I received the denial letter, it makes you question, am I crazy?
But I also wanted to honor all of those who are still alive, still protecting our country.
It's super rewarding. A lot of work goes into it. And to see everyone crossing the finish line and getting to see everything come to fruition it's really special.
Good morning, everyone. That was your morning eye opener. I'm Dua Esrar.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is May 8th, 2023. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Dua, and welcome back to the show.
Yes, I am back. We know Derek missed me so much.
So much. I just could not wait. Oh, man.
You couldn't wait to get teased on live TV.
Hey, who said anything about teasing?
Oh, absolutely. You already know what this is going to entail. Lots of jokes.
I'm waiting for it.
Well, starting off.
Yeah.
Please tell me there's good news for us in terms of weather. Otherwise, the next hour will be very brutal for you, Derek.
Oh, but that's not my fault. Listen, I'm just the messenger here.
Okay, fine, but give me some good news, messenger.
Okay, well, so the good news is I think a lot of the rain is going to be avoiding us, but we could be looking at a few showers this morning across portions of the area, if that is okay with you, Dua. I guess we'll have to wait and see, right? But yeah, that's something that we'll have to watch out here for, is that portions of our southern and central communities may run to a little bit of some light passing rain showers. Here's what it currently looks like on the satellite and radar picture, and you can see a lot of us just looking at mainly cloudy skies. A few showers, though, to our south, in association with this broad low pressure system producing showers and thunderstorms across portions of the Midwest. Our current temperatures are into the 50s, 54 in Eau Claire, 57 in La Crosse, and we're seeing temperatures at 53 in Sparta. Meanwhile, in Prairie du Chien, you're currently at 60, Viroqua at 54, Boscobel 58 degrees. So here's a look at your planner, watching again for some of those light showers across portions of the area this morning and also into the early afternoon before diminishing around 1 o'clock. And the rest of the day, partly to mostly cloudy skies with temperatures well into the 60s. Now, your allergy report is low for the ash, but everything else is on the high side for today and tomorrow. Birch was the majority of those pollen levels that were found most in the sample. So we'll talk more about your full weather forecast in just a bit. Dua?
Definitely feeling those high allergy levels this morning. Well, let's get to some news this morning. Beginning today, for Onalaska drivers, County Highway ZM in Onalaska will be closed for construction. The La Crosse County Highway Department asked drivers to use Highway 35 as an alternate route. It will remain closed for about a month and a half, and work is expected to wrap up by June 26th. For 3 years, veterans at the Tomah VA say they were denied health care, all because of one doctor. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen sat down with one Tomah vet who says his misdiagnosis left him shaken for years. Now he's seeking justice for others.
Years in combat.
If anybody remembers, 2004 was absolute chaotic as far as combat-wise in Iraq. I was blown up 4 different times in Iraq by improvised explosive devices.
When Brandon Winishek returned home, he found himself in a different battle.
Since getting out of the Marine Corps in 2006, I've had several friends commit suicide.
Like many veterans before him, Brandon suspected he had a traumatic brain injury.
It's such a common injury in Iraq and Afghanistan veterans.
He took his concerns to the Minneapolis VA. In early 2012, they said he was fine.
When I received the denial letter, it makes you question, am I crazy?
Years later, Brandon learned that he was one of 300 vets misdiagnosed by the VA. He was sent to the Tomah VA for a re-examination.
I was in and out in 30 minutes. There was no MRIs, there was no CAT scans.
But like before, his examiner, Dr. Mary Jo Lanska, said he was fine.
It was like a punch in the face.
Brandon was sure something was wrong. He asked to be assessed again.
Dr. Lanska receives the referral. I get a letter in the mail, and the letter states, Brandon, you're fine. I told you this back in 2015. I refused to see you.
He was told to seek care elsewhere. He took his private insurance to La Crosse.
At the end of this testing, I had 4 different doctors all agree that I had multiple traumatic brain injuries and permanent brain damage.
He decided to share his story and learned quickly he wasn't alone. Senator Tammy Baldwin wrote a letter to the VA asking them to follow up.
We demanded that the VA do a whole review.
Those concerns weren't unfounded.
Quite frankly, she was just phoning them in. She was not doing her job.
This is somebody that's supposed to be taking care of us.
In a statement, the VA said it reviewed some of Dr. Lanska's C&P exams, and some of those exams were considered incomplete.
So far, it's not looking very good.
7 years after Brandon's misdiagnosis,
I'm being told by medical professionals for years that I'm fine when I didn't feel fine.
relief. The VA says at this time, Dr. Mary Jo Lanska is no longer conducting those exams. Now Brandon is receiving some relief in the form of back pay starting in 2020.
What I'm fighting for now is that they owe me back to 2011.
He's calling for full equitable relief for himself and all misdiagnosed vets. Today, Brandon's fight is not over yet. In Toma, Emily Haugen, News 8 Now.
If you or a loved one believe you've been misdiagnosed by Dr. Mary Jo Lanska, the VA has set up a hotline. Just call 608-372-3971, extension 64775. All of that information is available on our website, news8000.com. And in La Crosse, Governor Tony Evers lowered flags at half-staff to honor World War II soldier Roy Colson Harms. Harms was shot down over Romania in 1943, but his body was not identified until last year. With help from his family and the Defense POW/MIA accounting agency, Harms was finally brought home 80 years later. In a statement released by the governor's office, Governor Evers said in part, quote, "The state will forever remember his courageous service and sacrifice." A group of people walked through La Crosse honoring troops and first responders. For 12 years, Carry the Load has traveled across the U.S. to say thank you. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall shares how the nonprofit's work is impacting others.
With every step, they honor those who served. In 2011, Navy veterans Clint Bruce and Steve Holly wanted to restore Memorial Day. Now, people including Olivia Terry carry the load.
My first year was in the Midwest right here, and my second year last year was on the East Coast relay.
The Midwest relay started in Minneapolis in April and wraps up in Dallas right after Memorial Day. Each year, walkers go for 32 days in 48 states. 20,000 miles total. Terry has been walking for her father, a firefighter who died on the line of duty when she was only a teenager.
I just wanted to honor him and walk and carry him with me through the relay.
Terry also walks for her brothers.
My brothers are also in the military. They were. One brother was in the Army and the other one was in the Navy. And first responders and military are just important in my family.
She carries the load for more than just her family.
I also wanted to honor all of those who are still alive, still protecting our country.
Terry also says she plans on continuing to carry the load in the future. If you would like to get involved with Carry the Load, you can check out their website. We have a link to that on our website, news8000.com. Well, people from the community showed up to support La Crosse's first ever Parkinson's awareness event. Starting in Myrick Park with a 1-mile walk, the fundraiser featured live music, food, resource booths for Parkinson's disease, and more. The Sports Therapeutic and Adaptive Recreation, or STAR Center, partnered together with the Parkinson's Foundation program. Coordinator Bree Colton talks about how La Crosse is a part of something bigger.
We had quite a few different ideas over the past year, but ultimately ended with a walk. It's something that the Parkinson's Foundation does. I know there's one going on in Milwaukee today, and other ones around the whole nation.
Colton hopes that today's events helped start more conversations about Parkinson's disease and wishes to collaborate with more organizations in the future. And despite some of the bad weather, nearly 1,000 people walked, ran, and raced for several worthy causes. The La Crosse Marathon featured runners of all ages. Funds from this year's race will benefit several nonprofits from the area, including ORA Trails, St. Clair's Health Mission, and the Joe Was Just Joe Foundation. The marathon's director hoped to raise at least $20,000 at the race.
It's super rewarding. A lot of work goes into it. And to see everyone crossing the finish line and getting to see like everything come to fruition it's really special.
Due to this year's flooding, the courses did have to be changed and recertified as the full marathon acts as a qualifier for the Boston Marathon. And the wait is over. The grand opening for La Crosse's Wygen Park shelter is today. The new shelter replaces a shed that was over 40 years old. It has a meeting room, bathrooms, and a drinking fountain. The Wygen Hogan Neighborhood Association says it will also be dedicating a new tree in the park to Bob Fisher, a board member who recently passed away. The grand opening starts at 6:30 in the evening at the park on 1500 Cass Street, and anyone in the community is welcome. Well, still ahead on your morning news, summer is just around the corner. Can airlines prevent the mistakes that rose during our winter travels? And Title 42 expires this week, causing a flood of migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. That and more is coming up this morning. But for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. The Milwaukee Brewers have one of the strangest traditions in baseball. At home games, fans dress in sausage costumes and race. Now, the original costumes are for sale. A fan who has the original Brat, Polish, and Italian sausage costume from its opening run in 1993 is ready to sell them. So if you want them, he's only selling them together, and the asking price, just a little 25 grand on eBay. The owner hopes that whoever buys them wants to display them somewhere the public can enjoy them. So if you are interested, go check it out. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Dua, are you screaming over there? Are you good? No, we'll have to check on her in a bit, but we're looking at cloudy skies across much of the area this morning. We're also tracking a few light showers here near the Prairie du Chien area, but other than that, conditions are looking quiet. Dog walking conditions could be affected by some of those light showers across portions of the area this morning, and also into the afternoon, maybe a little bit of some light drizzle. Partly cloudy skies could linger as we head into this evening. Current temperature readings across the area now are into the 50s, 57 in La Crosse, 54 in Eau Claire, 53 in Sparta. Temperatures towards the west are also in the mid-50s near the Rochester area. Let's get a check on your zone forecast now. La Crosse County, your high temperatures today a little bit below average in the low 60s. 62 Berry Mills, 62 in Monduro, 62 in Bangor. Highs reach 59 in Viroqua today, 62 in Soldiers Grove, and highs will reach 62 in La Crescent as well. Meanwhile, 64 in Arcadia today, 62 if you're in Melrose. We are watching for some light showers even as far north as the Chippewa Valley today as well, with highs in the low 60s here for you with 63 in Eau Claire. Bus stop forecast getting ready to head out the door this morning. 58 degrees with cloudy skies heading home. 62 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. I'll have a check on that full weather forecast coming up again in just a few minutes. Dua?
Screaming because I'm so excited about the temperatures that Derek is telling us. Well, in your consumer news this morning, the Food and Drug Administration is warning that more than 500,000 COVID tests from Roche and SD Biosensor should be thrown out immediately due to concerns the liquid solution could contain potentially harmful bacteria. These tests were distributed to CVS and Amazon. So far, the FDA says it has not received any reports of injuries or deaths linked to contaminated tests, though some users may have received false negative or false positive results. And as the busy summer travel season gets closer, the FAA is opening what it calls highways in the sky to speed up air travel. Travelers want to know if America's airport system can keep up with demand from summer vacationers. Chris Van Cleve reports.
The countdown to summer vacation comes with concern over travel turmoil.
I'm on a wing and a prayer.
Sherry Eisenman is so concerned about her 3-week trip to Ireland in June, she's not even checking a bag.
I really believe it's just kind of 50-50. Anyone traveling is taking a chance that they may not get to their destination.
Last summer, more than 45,000 flights were canceled and nearly 1 in 4 was delayed as airlines struggled through bad weather and staffing issues. This year, they insist it will be different.
Bookings are strong, demand is strong.
We're adding buffers into our own schedules to make certain we can deliver for our consumers.
All of our partners really want to make sure this summer goes smoothly.
While the TSA expects potentially record-breaking numbers of passengers at U.S. airports this summer, picketing pilots seeking a new contract warn there could be turbulence ahead.
The summer at American Airlines is as uncertain as it was last year, and last year was not good.
The FAA announced it's opened new highways in the sky by streamlining 169 East Coast routes, saving 6,000 minutes of travel time annually. But air traffic control staffing concerns prompted airlines to reduce summer flights out of New York City.
I'm worried airlines have scheduled more flights than the FAA can handle.
Airline industry analyst Henry Hartevelt.
I think this is going to be a summer of light to moderate turbulence. I'm concerned that if there's just even the slightest ripple of bad weather, the FAA will be asking airlines to delay flights or possibly even cancel flights.
Sherry Eisenman just hopes she makes her connection.
They've already changed it twice, and it keeps getting closer and closer to my departure time to go to Dublin.
Airlines have largely addressed their staffing issues, but the biggest disruptor to summer travel traditionally is the weather. Look for nonstop flights, typically early in the morning. Those have the highest success rates traditionally. And if the airlines warn of bad weather and tell you to change your flight, be proactive and do it early while options are available.
Airfare tracking site Hopper found 76% of flyers are worried about their upcoming trips being disrupted by delays and cancellations. Well, that's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and get today's forecast.
We got a mainly cloudy sky here across portions of the area this morning, as you can see from CityCam 8 in downtown La Crosse. A few light showers are possible mainly to our south, which we'll get to in a second. 57 degrees, visibility at 10 miles. Light east winds currently at around 6 miles an hour. Current conditions to the north in Eau Claire. Cloudy skies here as well. Temperatures at 54 degrees. East-southeast winds at around 10 miles an hour. Looking at a mainly cloudy sky across much of the Coulee region here currently. There are a few light showers down to the south near the Prairie du Chien area, but if we widen out the view, you can see what's responsible. You can see this large low pressure system that's currently positioned to our south, giving way to some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity. Now, this system is moving towards the east, but it could clip portions of the southern areas here as we head through those late morning hours. Current temperature readings are currently into the 50s, and as we break down your day planner, you'll see that temperatures go to the low 60s by noon today, with a few light remaining showers also possible. Mostly cloudy, 62 degrees by 4 p.m., and then partly cloudy skies as we headed towards the early evening hours. Temperatures will be at 59 degrees by that point. Forecast highs today in the low 60s across much of the area. We're expecting a high of 64 today towards the west in Winona come this afternoon. But overall, again, we're going to be watching some of those showers that could develop across portions of the area here as we head throughout the late morning hours. And then by 1 o'clock, I am expecting the majority of that rain to be well towards the east. Here's 5 p.m. in the afternoon, and then you can see partly to mostly cloudy conditions with a slight chance of a shower or a sprinkle also possible. Heading into the overnight hours, a few showers possible towards our west, but overall in general, we're still going to be fairly cloudy across the majority of the area, and this trend will continue here too, it looks like, as we head into early tomorrow morning, followed by some scattered clouds as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So looking ahead, we're going to be watching this developing low pressure system taking shape across the central plains, and the associated stalled frontal boundary could give off some shower and thunderstorms here as we head into Friday and also into Saturday and well into Sunday as the system passes by the area. So that's why we're still looking at some rain chances here later this week. We'll get a break here after today, but then we'll see some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity here Friday through this weekend, with highs mainly into the 70s and low temperatures into the 50s. Don't forget too, you can also download our free First Warn weather app on the Google Play or the Apple App Store. You get all those current weather conditions as well as your 8-day forecast right there at your fingertips. Stay with us though, we're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. We are taking a quick break though with a look what happened on this day in history for May 8th, We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. The Twins had first pitch early yesterday afternoon over in Cleveland, going for an important series win as the Guardians came into the game just 3.5 games back from Minnesota for that top spot in the AL Central. And it was Cleveland starting this game hot. 2 runners on for the dangerous Jose Ramirez, and the slugger delivers. A single into right field, 1 run comes in to score, and just like that, the Guardians start this game on top. Same inning, 2 batters later. This time it's Josh Bell coming through. He gets one through the infield. That scores another run, and now Cleveland goes up 2. Twins trying to answer. Nick Gordon with the bases loaded, but he's going to ground into a 4-6-3 double play, and that will end the inning. Another opportunity with 2 on in the 7th, but Jose Miranda will go down on strikes, and that pretty much sums up the Twins' offense. Just 1 hit for Minnesota, as manager Rocco Baldelli said after the game. It's hard to win when you don't score runs. Twins now 19-16 on the year. Next up at home against the Padres on Tuesday. And then later in the afternoon, it was the Brewers' turn. They were on the road taking on the Giants, honoring the late legend Vida Blue to start this game. We'll pick this one up in the 2nd. A man on for William Contreras, and he gets all of this one. Sends it to deep left field for a 2-run shot. That gives the Brewers the lead, and Contreras the cheesehead. Adrian Hauser making his first start of the year, but it's some trouble here as Lamonte Wade Jr. rips one into left field, and this game is all tied at 2. 5th inning, Brewers back in front, but looking for some insurance, and Willy Adames gives them just that. He sends one into left field seats for a 2-run home run. Brewers up 3. Now in the 9th, a man on for Yelich, and Yelich gets one down into left field. Joey Wiemer rounding 3rd, trying to score. The throw is a little wide, and that allows Wiemer to slide in for another run. A few batters later, Adames at the plate, and he's going to bring in Yelich for 1 more. 7-3 the final. Adames with a 4 RBI day and his 100th career home run. Adrian Hauser with a promising first start of the season. Milwaukee now 18-15 on the year, breaking that 6-game losing streak. They're back at home tonight, taking on the LA Dodgers. So now the Brewers trail the Pirates by just a half game in the NL Central, and the Cubs are 2 games behind Milwaukee, sitting in 3rd. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
There are concerns around the southern border of the U.S. U.S. officials are preparing for a rise in migrants, and there's bipartisan worries that the country isn't ready to handle that situation. John Lornick reports.
As migrants are gathering at the U.S.-Mexican border, lawmakers from both parties are sounding the alarm.
First of all, are we ready? The answer is no.
President Biden is sending 1,500, quote, soldiers to do paperwork, and that's not going to secure the border.
The rise in people seeking to get into the U.S. comes in anticipation of Thursday's expiration of Title 42, the U.S. government rule that enabled border officers to expeditiously expel migrants during the COVID pandemic.
The Biden administration had 2 years to prepare for this and did not do so.
The Department of Homeland Security has repeatedly stressed the southern border is sealed and is giving fair warning to those trying to come across.
The smugglers who exploit vulnerable migrants are spreading misinformation. They are spreading false information, lies, in a way to lure vulnerable people to the southern border, and those individuals will only be returned.
House Republicans are set to vote Thursday on a border security package to succeed Title 42. It's called H.R. 2, and it codifies some of the programs from the Trump administration, including the Remain in Mexico policy, which says migrants have to stay in Mexico as they go through the asylum process. If it passes, it's not expected to get through the Democratic-led Senate.
Encounters between U.S. border agents and undocumented immigrants dropped earlier this year, but increased recently due to roughly 7,000 per day and are expected to rise dramatically. A Winona mom has been missing for over a month now. The friends and family of Madeline Kingsbury invited the public to join them at a prayer service. It's been 39 days since she went missing. Kingsbury disappeared on March 31 after dropping her children off at school. During the vigil, people prayed together, hoping the 26-year-old mother of two comes home. Madeline Sorority will be hosting a silent auction benefit on June 10th at Watoga Tavern. The oldest living Minnesotan is now 112 years old. Courtney Lockie introduces Lillian Moran and shares her secret to a long life.
Born in 1911, the Spanish flu, the Great Depression, the Dust Bowl, both world wars, Lillian Moran has seen it all. 112 trips around the sun.
She just is unbelievable.
Her daughter-in-law Sandy says they were supposed to celebrate the oldest living Minnesotan's birthday back in March, but Lillian got COVID for a second time.
She sailed right through them both.
The Maddock native stakes her claim as the first person born in town. She grew up on a farm and worked part-time at the general store in Flora, a local celebrity known as a jack of all trades.
Her place was the center of attention because they always knew she would have good baked goods.
Even at 112, Lillian doesn't skip a beat. She loves to talk about her Norwegian roots. And
oh, what a beautiful morning.
She loves to sing.
A beautiful day. She's very good and she knows every song.
Lillian doesn't take any medications, and longevity seems to run in the Moran family.
Her mother died months shy of her 100th birthday, and her grandmother was 103. So, you know, back in those days, that was unheard of.
Lillian lived in Maddock until she was 98 before coming to the assisted living facility.
What is your secret to long life? Oh, keep breathing. There it is.
Lillian says she never thought about whether she'd live this long. She just says time flies. Well, with the nice and beautiful weather the past couple of days, you might start to notice your seasonal allergies are kicking in. Mine definitely are. But don't get those symptoms confused with COVID-19. Catherine Merrick spoke with health experts about monitoring your symptoms properly, even with eased COVID restrictions.
A lot of people have kind of moved on from COVID and have not wanted to think that symptoms could be due to COVID.
Friday marks a landmark in the COVID-19 pandemic. It was announced that on May 11th, the nation's COVID-19 public health emergency will officially expire. The CDC deputy director says that doesn't mean COVID is gone for good.
Does this at all change how the American public should treat COVID?
COVID-19 remains a risk, even though the public health emergency is coming to a close, especially for Americans who are immune compromised.
The move comes at a time when many people feel their allergies are at a peak.
Unfortunately, there's a large crossover between symptoms of COVID and spring allergy.
Dr. Mark Moss is an allergist at UW Health. He says even though some variants of COVID have symptoms similar to allergies, there are some differences and signs that you might need a COVID test.
Allergies don't cause people to have fevers, chills, body aches, or in general, extreme fatigue. Those symptoms would highly suggest viral infection such as COVID.
So on these days with spring-like temperatures, make sure to monitor your symptoms to avoid the virus from the 3-year health emergency.
And if your symptoms are particularly severe on days where it's warm and sunny and we've got a nice southerly breeze, your symptoms are more likely to be due to allergy.
To avoid those seasonal allergy symptoms while you're outside, Dr. Moss says wear a pollen mask while mowing the lawn or weeding the yard. He says people with allergies should also avoid hanging clothes and sheets outside to dry. Well, back in La Crosse, comic lovers got to add to their collections. Deaf Ear Records in downtown La Crosse celebrated Free Comic Book Day. The store had plenty of in-store sales and on-back issues more. Whether you were starting a new collection or adding to an existing one, the store had something for everyone. Beer lovers from all over the Coulee region have also added to their collections. The Beer and Breweriana show at the Omni Center in Onalaska gave enthusiasts a chance to buy, sell, and trade all things beer. The show had plenty of vintage brewing merchandise, and the show's organizer says there's plenty of surprises in store.
People will walk in looking to find something, but then a lot of times someone will come in with an item that they're looking for information on, and every now and then somebody comes in with something that we've never seen before.
67 vendors were featured at this year's Breweriana. Viterbo University celebrated language interpreters this weekend, known as the Community Interpreting Certificate Symposium and Graduation. The event honored interpreters of all different languages. Students presented posters and listened to important members of the community as they celebrated their accomplishments. And here's Derek to tell us what our driving conditions are for today and what they're currently looking like. Derek?
Yeah, you know, it's a little bit cloudy out here too, but there are a couple of light showers. Prairie du Chien area, but other than that, things are looking pretty quiet. So here's a look at the forecast overall today. 62 degrees with a couple of some light showers, lingering clouds here throughout the day, east-northeast winds at around 10 to 15. So for tonight, temperatures dropping to 48 degrees, still mostly cloudy, and overall pretty seasonable in terms of our temperatures there. Light east winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Driving conditions this morning look pretty good, but watch out for a couple of some light showers that could develop across portions of the area this morning, and maybe even a little bit of some drizzle here is still possible, as that may linger into the lunch hour, and then partly cloudy skies here as we head into the evening hour. So for your mowing forecast, 57 degrees with some scattered showers around 8 o'clock. That could linger into around noon today, although the chances of the rain chances it is will be much less by that point. 5 p.m. partly cloudy, temperatures at 62. That might be the best bet to go ahead and do that, as it won't be quite as wet. So we'll take a look at that, plus your full weather forecast one more time coming up in just a few minutes. Also coming up in our Buzz Report, a new series around the band that taught the Motley Crue how to party. Stay with us. We'll be right back. 8 in downtown La Crosse, as you can see there behind me, and we are going to be looking at some pretty cloudy weather conditions that will remain in the forecast throughout the day. Even a slight chance of a shower or two. We'll get to that in a second. 57 degrees currently now in La Crosse. Easterly winds light at around 6 miles an hour. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, it's also very cloudy here as well. Temperatures are at 54 degrees. East-southeast winds at around 10 miles an hour. So on the latest satellite and radar, you can see things are very cloudy right now across much of the area. There are a few light rain showers positioned well to our south, and if we widen out the view, you can see this large cluster of showers and thunderstorms across the upper Midwest, and a little bit of this, at least the northern extent, may clip portions of the viewing area later this morning. That's so, again, thanks to this low pressure system responsible for those clusters of showers and thunderstorms, as you can see there, and the northern extent kind of riding up along that stationary frontal boundary now as we speak. Current temperature readings are into the 50s. We got 53, good morning to you, in Sparta, 54 in Viroqua at the moment, 58 meantime in Boscobel, 58 as well in Prairie du Chien, and back towards the north in Black River Falls, you're currently at 53. So for the overall planner today, a few showers, 58 degrees by 7 o'clock by noon, 61 with a little bit of some light drizzle also possible, 62 and mostly cloudy by 4 p.m., followed by partly cloudy skies by 8 o'clock and temperatures dropping to the upper 50s. Our forecast highs today will be in the low 60s. I'm expecting 62 today in La Crosse. Meanwhile, in Eau Claire, you're looking at a high of roughly 63 degrees. And again, we're going to be watching some of these showers because it is possible that some of these showers may develop across portions of the Coulee region this morning before they begin to move away from us as we head to that 1 o'clock hour, because you can see by that point a lot of the showers will be mainly focused towards the east, and we'll be under the influence of partly to mostly cloudy skies in the meantime as those showers clear out of here, because by 5 p.m. you can see still some lingering clouds, maybe a slight chance of a shower or two near the La Crosse area. And then as we head into overnight tonight, things are still looking very cloudy, maybe a little bit of some light passing showers here to our west. We'll keep our eyes on those, but for the most part, things are looking pretty dry and still very cloudy even as we head into tomorrow morning, which will continue too as we head into tomorrow afternoon. All right, so here's what's coming next. We're watching a developing low pressure system once again across the Central Plains, and that system, the associated stationary front that is with that system by 3 p.m. on Friday, could set off shower and thunderstorm activity for Friday afternoon in general, and that same trend could linger as we head into Saturday and into Sunday as this low pressure system continues to affect the upper Midwest's weather pattern. So something that we'll keep our eyes on here on the 8-day forecast, because we'll be pretty dry through Thursday. Scattered shower and thunderstorm activity in the forecast Friday and this weekend, Highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s.
The Mayhem? They taught Motley Crue how to shred and party. They tattooed their name on me when I was passed out. What?
A new streaming series follows the adventures of Muppets band Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. The Muppets Mayhem chronicles the adventures of Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem finally recording their debut album.
Time to hunker down and write some symphonious songs to sing for our selection of snaztastic suitors.
I get intrusive thoughts.
Brain in My Head was the big winner at the 10th annual Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge Awards. The short film about a couple navigating mental health issues and deafness won Best Film, Best Director, and Best Actor. Swifties and Derek, get ready. Taylor Swift is re-releasing her album Speak Now this summer. In an announcement on social media, the singer says she wrote the album when she was 18 to 20 years old. She also went on to write that because she loves the album because, quote, it tells a tale of growing up, flailing, flying, and crashing and living to speak about it. And that album will contain 6 previously unreleased bonus tracks. Derek, did you know she wrote the entire album by herself?
Really?
Completely self-written.
All right, well, fun fact here on this Monday, I guess.
I have lots of fun facts. I can start listing them.
We'll have to do a whole show dedicated to just Taylor Swift topics.
I can talk about this for hours, genuinely hours.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, if I was on the show, I wouldn't really have to do much. I would just sit there, stand there, listen to you.
You can listen, you know,
take all of the information.
When that album releases, we're gonna have a listening party, and then the next day, we're gonna have Derek rank his favorite songs in order. How about that?
Let's do it. I'm all for that.
Taylor Swift ranking party at News 8.
I'm all for it. Let's get ready to do it then.
All right.
Starting tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow. Well, I guess we're gonna move on to Look Who's 8, even though, you know, I could talk about Taylor Swift for hours.
I know, and I don't think it's Taylor Swift's birthday today either, but we do have a happy 8 months to Everly today. Everly loves to snuggle with her puppy and be outside.
Happy 8 months to Gianna. Gianna is always smiling and loves to eat.
Happy 8 months to Elias. Elias is a happy boy who loves any and all food, really, and he loves his kitties.
I have a kitty.
Named August.
I do. She's the sweetest. Happy 8 months to Fallon. Fallon is a fun-loving baby who enjoys long walks and can't wait to travel this summer and make some memories. Fallon, I am looking forward to the same things this summer as well.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Can't wait for the summer season. Also, happy 8th birthday to Lori. Lori's a sweet, energetic, and funny boy.
Well, if you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for that Submit Pictures button underneath the home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next. Time for your morning news now. Beginning today, for drivers in Onalaska, County Highway ZM will be closed for construction. The La Crosse County Highway Department asked drivers to use Highway 35 as an alternate route. It will remain closed for about a month and a half, and work is expected to wrap up by June 26th. People from the community showed up to support La Crosse's first ever Parkinson's awareness event starting in Myrick Park with a 1-mile walk. The fundraiser featured live music, food, resources for Parkinson's disease, and more. The Sports Therapeutic and Adaptive Recreation, or STAR Center, partnered together with the Parkinson's Foundation program. Coordinator Bree Colton talks about how La Crosse is a part of something bigger.
We had quite a few different ideas over the past year, but ultimately ended with a walk. It's something that the Parkinson's Foundation does. I know there's one going on in Milwaukee today, and other ones around the whole nation.
Colton hopes that today's events help start more conversations about Parkinson's disease and wishes to collaborate with more organizations in the future. And despite some bad weather, nearly 1,000 people walked, ran, and raced for several worthy causes. The La Crosse Marathon featured runners of all ages. Funds from this year's race will benefit several nonprofits from the area, including ORA Trails, St. Clair's Health Mission, and the Joe Was Just Joe Foundation. The marathon's director hoped to raise at least $20,000 at the race.
It's super rewarding. A lot of work goes into it. And to see everyone crossing the finish line and getting to see like everything come to fruition it's really special.
Due to this year's flooding, the courses did have to change and be recertified as the full marathon acts as a qualifier for the Boston Marathon. And beer lovers from all over the Coulee region have added to their collections. The Beer and Breweryana show at the Omni Center in Onalaska gave enthusiasts a chance to buy, sell, and trade all things beer. The show also had plenty of vintage brewing merchandise. 67 vendors were featured at this year's Breweryana. And Swifties and Derek, get ready for Taylor Swift. She's releasing her album Speak Now this summer. In an announcement on social media, the singer says she wrote the album, which is completely self-written, by the way, when she was 18 to 20 years old. She also went on to write that she loves this album because, quote, it tells a tale of growing up, flailing, flying, and crashing, and living to speak about it. And that album will contain 6 previously unreleased bonus tracks. The wait is over for the grand opening of La Crosse's Wygen Park shelter. That's today. The new shelter has a meeting room, bathrooms, and fountain for water. The Wygen-Hogan Neighborhood Association says it will also be dedicating a new tree in the park to Bob Fisher, a board member who recently passed away. The grand opening starts at 6:30 in the evening at the park on 1500 Cass Street, and anyone in the community is welcome.
And as you head out the door this morning, temperatures are in the 50s with a few showers here that could become possible this morning. And then pretty much after that, it should start to diminish by early this afternoon. Mainly, or partly to mostly cloudy skies, I should say, for the rest of the day with temperatures in the low 60s this afternoon. So here's a check on your 8-day forecast tomorrow. Mostly cloudy with a high of 73. Those mostly cloudy skies linger into Wednesday and Thursday with highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. A chance of showers and storms is possible Friday and this weekend, but highs will continue to remain in the 70s while lows will be in the 50s. What do you think of that, Duo?
I love that news, Derek.
Good.
Another morning show in the books. Did you miss me?
I did.
Did you enjoy these 2 hours? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're welcome You're welcome anytime. So.
You just got to take me in small doses. I know it's too exciting. I'm too exciting.
Whoever said that? Come on.
Oh, you know, just.
I think we can all take large doses of Dua Israr.
Thanks. Well, thank you for watching News 8 Now this morning. Don't forget to keep up with us on social media and have a wonderful rest of your day.